Hey Michaela, I am at the Raising Hail Tour in Omaha today, and attendees are talking to our sponsors right now, as you can see behind me. But Derek is going to have his presentation and start here in just a few minutes. And we're looking forward to the exclusive forecast for the 2026 season. And now we, for this forecast, have over 15 meteorologists at HailTrace, and all of them played a part in the forecast that's going to be presented today. And I think Omaha is going to like their forecast. So we're very excited to see Derek present, but for now I'm going to toss it back to you in studio, and I'll be back in a few minutes to give you a bit of an update. But I know that we have storms in the forecast that are hitting during Valentine's Day weekend, so I'm going to toss it back to you in the studio for now.
Thank you, Taylor, and thank you guys so much for joining us today. I'm meteorologist Michaela Smith. Let's talk about not only the storms in the forecast, but also we have the Raising Hail Tour. So lots to talk about, but we'll start with those storms. It's a stormy Valentine's Day incoming, those chances increasing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but really kind of highlighting Saturday. And also along with that, we have a ton of weekend rain potentials, especially across the south central U.S. Those flood risks really start to increase. And like you just saw, today is the third stop of the Raising Hail Tour. So far, we've done Edmond and Denton, Texas. Now our team is in Omaha, Nebraska for today. So we'll have another look kind of what things are like at the Raising Hail Tour. And then we'll have a kind of final look at the end of this forecast, showing you some of our sponsors and just what roofers get to enjoy if you go on the Raising Hail Tour. We still have 3 stops after today in Omaha. We have Chicago next week, we have Denver after that, and then we finish in Minneapolis. So if you are close to any of those cities, we still have tickets to all of those locations. You can get them at raising-hail-tour.com. Chipper, HailTrace team, thank you for always watching, Chipper. We appreciate you each and every day. And we also have someone else. Happy Thursday, HailTrace team, Miss Michaela. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you watching. All right, 48-hour storm reports, really nothing crazy to report. We had some rainfall on Tuesday across areas in parts of Texas, southeastern Oklahoma, Arkansas as well. Few small hail reports came in from West Virginia. I don't think this was anything too crazy. I think it was less than quarter-size hail. So, and it was only one report that came in. Really, we just had lots of rain over the last several days, and then snow out to the west in parts of Utah and in parts of Colorado. They're still seeing some of the snow now as we go towards this morning. So very much an area that needed to see that. But you can really just see kind of these current conditions across the U.S. A little bit of rain up to the north right now in parts of Illinois, Indiana, and Iowa. Here is just a low sitting right over the middle part of the U.S. That's going to be the area that we watch, though, more out towards the west. This is our low pressure system that we're watching starting tomorrow, and then it's going to deepen as we head into Saturday and Sunday and give us more of those storm chances. Currently, as you look up to the northeast, there's a little bit of snow right now in parts of Pennsylvania, New York. There's some of those showers that I just mentioned going across parts of Illinois, Indiana, into Kentucky. Down to the south, not a ton of activity right now, same across the central U.S. And then as you head more off towards the west coast, not actually seeing a ton of rainfall anymore over the last several days. They really have been seeing that rainfall from the low pressure system. But again, now it's off the coast, it's more inland, and that's what's giving us our storm chances closer to the plains starting tomorrow. Temperatures across the U.S., 60s, really nice and comfortable in Oklahoma City and Dallas. A little bit cooler off towards the west. You're in the 50s in Denver, 30s up to the north in Fort Wayne and Minneapolis. So still jacket weather for some, but overall things are starting to warm up and will continue to do so over the next several days. Active alerts across the U.S. You can see areas off towards the west, some of those purples and pink colors in the Rocky Mountains just outside of Denver. Those are winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings just for some more snow up higher in those elevations. But really across most of the U.S., again, we are clear of alerts right now. This is a very different picture than a couple of weeks ago when we showed you that over 65% of the U.S. had winter weather alerts. That just shows you how crazy this time of year is, that we have these up and down kind of roller coaster temperatures, and with that we have the changing in the weather patterns, and really nothing too intense to talk about currently. But that will start to change. You can see with our severe weather outlook, you can see that we have an area that we're highlighting off towards the west. That's going to be in parts of Nevada, Utah, Colorado. That's for today that we have a chance to see some showers this afternoon. Includes Salt Lake City and areas down to the south along Highway 15. No significant severe weather, though, is expected. This is just a general thunderstorm risk, so we're saying, hey, there is a chance for some rain and some showers this afternoon. You'll probably hear some rumbles of thunder, see some flashes of lightning, but the severe weather risk is really low. For today, Tomorrow, we start to see that increase just a little bit more. Here's our newest update. Now this extends all the way up into Oklahoma and just outside of Oklahoma City. This is a marginal risk. It's a level 1 out of 5, but the marginal risk for tomorrow is likely more for hail. Then as we head towards Saturday, this severe weather threat shifts a little bit more towards the east. So now you're including just south of Oklahoma City, but Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Shreveport, Baton Rouge, just outside of Little Rock, watching for those storm threats on Saturday. And then Sunday, we also have this area highlighted in red here, includes Raleigh, Atlanta, southern parts of Alabama, northern parts of Florida like Jacksonville. So that's the area that we'll have to watch for storms on Sunday. So as we talk about more of these storms and just kind of this more active weather pattern, really quickly before we break everything down, I want to send things back out to meteorologist Taylor Cox. Again, we're at the Raising Hail Tour. The big part of the Raising Hail Tour is that Derek always gives his hail forecast for this year. So 2026 hail forecast is an exclusive forecast that you can get only on the Raising Hail Tour. But Taylor, let's see a little bit more of what's happening behind the scenes right now as this is all happening in Omaha.
Hey, Michaela, we are about to kick off the Raising Hail Tour today. Right now, everyone's getting lunch and they're talking to our sponsors in the other room, so they're not in this room right now. However, I'm here and I want to ask some of our attendees what brought you guys to the Raising Hail Tour today. So tell me who you're with, tell me your guys' names, and then what brought you to be in these chairs today.
Hey, so my name's Colin. I'm with Royalty Roofing.
Colin, we're glad that you're here.
Jared with Full Circle Roofing. And I'm Jim Thompson with Thompson & Thompson.
And we're so excited that you guys are here at the Raising Hail Tour today. So what made you want to come to the Raising Hail Tour right now?
I just love getting together with other people in the industry and just talking about kind of our daily struggles. And the food's been great also. So.
And always the food is a plus, absolutely.
I just love getting together and collaborating with some of the competitors out here and kind of see where everybody's head's at and what everybody's doing this year and working together.
Awesome. Well, we're glad that you guys are here. And what brought you to the Raising Hail Tour today?
I like connecting with all the vendors that you guys bring. Food's always great. And then just hearing what you guys are expecting for storms for the region.
And that is what we're about to do. So Derek is going to give his hail forecast this afternoon. We're very, very excited for it. I think that Omaha is going to be very happy with the hail forecast. So Michaela, I will toss it back to you in studio. We are getting excited here at the Raising Hail Tour. We're about to kick off here in just a few minutes. So I'll toss it back to you in the meantime in studio because I know that we have some storms coming up and I'm going to let you break all of that down for everyone.
Thank you, Taylor. And like she said, yes, everyone is so excited on the Raising Hail Tour just to hear Derek speak, to hear that forecast, kind of know where those areas are going to be for this year. But we already have storms to talk about too as we head over the next several days. So I just broke down kind of what that looks like for your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But let's kind of break this down just a little bit more. Have people watching from Fayetteville, Arkansas, you're about to see a ton of rain too in the next several days, Friday night leading into Saturday and Sunday as well. So get prepared for that too. And then we have Texas Aggie watching from Texarkana. As always, we appreciate you jumping on here each and every day. Significant hail model. Let's play this through for this afternoon. You can see a little bit of this light gray and white color in parts of Utah and Colorado. That's very small for that hail threat for today. Again, we're really not expecting severe weather this afternoon. Once you get into tomorrow, though, I told you earlier in the forecast that our Friday risk for severe weather, we have that marginal risk, but it's mainly because of the hail threat. So you can start to see this. This is around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Now we're seeing more of these yellows and these orange colors popping up across parts of Texas, especially in the evening, all the way down in South Texas. That's where we're seeing the better chance for hail Friday. And this is also going to continue as we head into Saturday. So let's play this forward again, just a little bit quicker. Here's right around again, lunchtime, noon, 1 o'clock tomorrow. And you're already seeing this area highlighted in really central Texas and western Texas, just south of Lubbock, areas like Midland, Odessa, San Angelo, seeing those chances for some hail starting in the middle of the day tomorrow. But then those chances actually get a little bit better according to our significant hail model. You can see more of that activity, also seeing more of these yellow colors. This is again 7 o'clock in the evening just outside of Oklahoma City. That's why that marginal risk now extends all the way up into Oklahoma. Yesterday it was just in Texas, but they've gone ahead and added more places because we're watching the threat for hail Friday night into Saturday morning. So we have your hail forecast. This is Friday evening, again into the early morning hours of Saturday. I brought it all the way up through Oklahoma City, Lawton, Wichita Falls, Lubbock, Midland, San Angelo, like we said. Hail size, I still think we're talking about maybe quarter to golf ball size hail. It's not going to be any crazy large hail that we're talking about, But I do think that some areas have a better chance of seeing hail than others, Oklahoma City being one and Lubbock being one too. Just looking at the kind of storm motion and the storm timeline, and there's going to be a little bit more scattered storm activity in those areas. But that also could limit some of those hail sizes. It's going to be some of those isolated storms that could be possible in between Midland and San Angelo that we'll have to watch too late Friday night into Saturday. So future radar will play this through. Again, you can see where we have a few showers off towards the west today, parts of Utah and in parts of Colorado. By tomorrow afternoon, here comes that low pressure system. Now you're seeing all of that rainfall off towards the west. By Friday night, you start to see some of these storms that are popping up, and then really late Friday night into Saturday morning, that's really when things start to get going. So we'll get a little bit closer view here, especially across Texas and Oklahoma. So let's go to Friday around the middle of the day, 12:30. Seeing some light showers ahead, but really at this point, the severe threat is very limited. Then you get to Friday night, though. This is right around 7 o'clock, so dinner time tomorrow night. And now you're seeing, oop, there's an isolated storm. Looks like it could be producing hail in the Texas Panhandle. There's a few more down near Lubbock, some right over Lubbock, and then back towards New Mexico. So those are the storms that we're watching closely to start off with. Then as it heads into the late night hours, they do start to become more of a line and get a little bit more clustered together. So I think that's when we limit the hail potential some. But then as you look back down towards this line right over where, again, we said was Midland, you have more of an isolated storm down near San Angelo too, a few more isolated storms. So those are the ones we're going to have to watch for maybe the slightly larger hail probabilities. But you're not going to see maybe as much activity. So it could be in between some of those more populated areas. It could not hit very many people at all. Then we break down the severe weather outlook after Friday. So again, you can see this marginal risk. This is an upgrade. Again, extended further up now into Oklahoma. Yesterday, it just stopped right basically at the border of Texas and Oklahoma. So now we've extended it into areas like Oklahoma City. Then you look at your severe weather risk for Saturday, south of Oklahoma City, Dallas, Houston. Again, we've already mentioned a lot of these places. And then Sunday, this risk is going to continue to move more towards the east. Now you're talking about really the better chance for severe weather on Sunday is going to be the southern parts of Alabama and Georgia, and then the northern parts of Florida. That's right along where our low pressure system is going to be. And then on the east side of that low pressure system along our cold front, that will be the area we watch closely for storms Sunday. And then by Monday, we're not really expecting any severe weather again. So for the hail forecast on Saturday, on Valentine's Day, we have an area highlighted here. It's going to include Dallas and areas off towards the east. So Texarkana, Texas Aggie, you will have to watch for the chance for some storms and some hail on Saturday if you have any Valentine's Day plans. This extends down to, again, Houston to Baton Rouge. Again, I think the threat for hail is a little bit lower for some actually on Saturday, just because a lot of these storms are going to form more of a line, but it's going to be like a two-part system on Saturday. We'll have the leftover storms from Friday night into Saturday morning. Those will be more of a line, so that's going to be more of a wind threat. But then we have more storms that start to develop Saturday afternoon, and those will be the ones that we have to watch closely if any can get isolated to have the better chance for producing hail, and we'll have to watch for that tornado threat as well on Saturday. Here's that wind forecast, though I just mentioned again, how there really is a high probability of these storms kind of forming more of a line. And when that happens, you really kind of limit the tornado potential a little bit. We can still see QLCS spin up tornadoes, but it's more of a straight line wind kind of threat on Saturday. So that's Dallas, southeastern Oklahoma, all the way back towards San Antonio, Houston, Baton Rouge, and again, Little Rock, that we'll watch for the chance for some pretty gusty conditions and some strong winds. And I've highlighted areas like Dallas, where it looks very likely we'll see that line going through Saturday, and then areas like Baton Rouge too, where just kind of some of those forecast models really show us that, hey, it's kind of clustering together. We could be dealing with some pretty strong storms, again, Saturday into Sunday morning. Here's your 5-day rain chances. Not only are we talking about the threat for severe weather, but a ton of rain coming in the next few days. So here's today's look. Storm system is moving from the west to the east. By tomorrow, we start to see those heavy rain moving in, but still some isolated, stronger storms. What I showed you earlier, again, is not every single person seeing a strong storm. It's just more isolated, and that's why we have that hail threat. Then you get really heavy rain Saturday and Sunday, and that's when storms become a little bit more likely. And then by Monday, things do start to clear. So as you look at your flood outlook, there's not really anything for today. Tomorrow, though, you can see all the way back into West Texas, through central Oklahoma up to Tulsa as well, parts of Kansas, into Missouri, areas like Fayetteville too, are going to be under a level 1 flood risk. So that means isolated flash flooding. Not everyone's going to see it, but there is the threat again for flooding. Then that risk goes up, though, as we look at Saturday. Now you introduce this yellow color here that's going to be like areas from Memphis, really most of Arkansas at this point, and then the northern parts of Louisiana. That's that level 2 risk. So the hazard now is scattered flash flooding. It's a little bit more likely that we're dealing with it just because we're going to see so much heavy rainfall kind of trailing over the same areas again and again, especially when you have multiple rounds Friday night into Saturday, then Saturday night into Sunday, and then again Sunday. You're just getting heavy rainfall in a very short amount of a time for a lot of these places. And then by Sunday, back to that level 1 risk, but it's not completely gone. That extends all the way from Florida up through Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina to about Raleigh. And that again will be for the risk for isolated flash flooding on Sunday. Then the risk goes away on Monday. Storms start to push back out again, and we have a little bit of a chance to dry out before there's more storms possible heading into next week. So let's break down more of this storm timeline now for Saturday, Valentine's Day. And before I do this again, if anyone has any questions, please let me know. We're happy to tailor this forecast to your specific area. My producer John is watching very closely over there. But we've already broke down Friday's risk, and I showed you some of those isolated storms Friday night into Saturday morning. Now let's look at Saturday if you have Valentine's Day plans. This is Saturday evening right around 7 p.m. I really hope you didn't book a nice outdoor patio somewhere, because if you're anywhere from Oklahoma to Arkansas, Missouri, really down to the south, Texas, Louisiana, I mean, you can see just how wet this is. Again, 7 p.m. Saturday night. And here's this line of storms that came through a little bit earlier on in the day, or it's trying to push through. But this is what I was mentioning, these storms in the back. There's going to be a little bit of a break. These are the ones that we'll have to watch for later on to have the better potential of maybe seeing some hail. These ones in the front are going to be more of our straight line wind and maybe QLCS threat. So something still that we're watching very closely. That's on Saturday. Then we go to Sunday, and we're going to see rain all throughout Saturday night through Sunday morning into Sunday evening across the east as this low pressure system moves. But then you have a chance to see these storms kind of redevelop and pick back up Sunday night. This is right around 10 o'clock. This will be the final round because the first round's Friday, second round Saturday. Now we're talking about round 3 at this point. But again, that low pressure system is going to be somewhere right along here, right along Florida and the Gulf. So this is why southern Alabama, southern Georgia, northern parts of Florida will be the area that we watch most closely Sunday for the chance for some strong to severe storms. Then you get a little bit of a break, like I mentioned. But then as we head towards the middle of the week, we see our next system that's going to be trying to move in from the west, and then it's going to bring more rain back across the central portion of the U.S. later into next week. So our extended rain outlook really kind of favors that and shows that. You can see wetter than average conditions across the west coast and up to the north, drier than average conditions to the south. This is valid the 17th through the 21st, so getting towards the end of February now. And we also really continue to see this warmer than average pattern taking hold across most of the U.S. As we play this forward over the next few days, you're into Saturday now. Still seeing that nice warm up Sunday, Monday. You really are going to stay pretty toasty over the next few days and seeing those temperatures anywhere from 10 to 20 degrees warmer than average. Words are hard today. I feel like it's almost Friday. It's not Friday yet, but it kind of feels like Friday. All right, future temperatures. Let's look at the rest of today. Temperatures in the 70s this afternoon. By tomorrow morning, you're in the 30s and 40s across a lot of the U.S., but you can see where things are nice and warm Friday afternoon. Really where we're fueling again our moisture is seeing these warmer temperatures, giving us a chance for better severe storms is going to be down in Texas, and that's where you're seeing those 70s and 80s. 81 in Dallas tomorrow. It's going to be a nice warm day. Then you stay not too cold, actually Saturday morning is talking about the 60s, and then 60s and 50s in the afternoon as we watch those storms kind of move through. So for a lot of us, it's pretty comfortable for Valentine's Day, but wet. Then you get to Sunday morning and you start to see a little bit cooler weather, especially off towards the west coast, and then a nice warm up in the afternoon, and then things start to cool off again as you head towards Sunday night. And like we talked about earlier, the Raising Hail Tour is today. If you didn't catch on that I'm wearing that shirt, it's kind of keying out a little bit, which is a little fun too. Raising Hail Tour 2026, this is the third stop today. We've already hit, like I said, Edmond, that was on February 3rd. Denton was last Thursday, February 5th. Today is Omaha, February 12th. But we still have 3 more stops. We have Chicago, we have Denver, we have Minneapolis. You can see those dates, the 17th, the 24th, and the 3rd. So a lot of fun things are happening. Let's go out one more time to just kind of walk around and see all of our different sponsors and how things are looking out there. People are waving, saying hello. It's awesome. You can see some of our sponsors like Evo right there. People having great conversations. We always encourage leaders to, if you're really confident about wanting to go, wear your roofing shirts, wear your company shirts, get your name out there, get your brand out there. There's SFY right there. Lots of good activities, good conversations happening. You see how many people are there just this is just one room event. We have room for our sponsors. We have
We're starting James House at 123 Main Street.
so you're already seeing a ton of people here. That means there's even more people getting to wear your shirts to be other there's going to be more industry and you get to hear the industry best hail forecast of 2026 and from other industry experts about everything that goes into the claims process from start to finish. So thank you, John, for showing that again. We are so excited that we still have 3 more stops after today. Today is Omaha, but let's go the other way. Today's Omaha, but again, February 17th, so next week you have Chicago, Illinois, that's on Tuesday. Then you have Denver, Colorado on February 24th. I believe that's also a Tuesday. And then March 3rd, Minneapolis, also a Tuesday. So lots of fun activities still to come. If you've been on the fence about going to the Raising Hail Tour, it's truly so worth it. We still have tickets available in all of those locations. You can get them at raising-hail-tour.com, and we hope that we see you there. Someone said, could it hail in Fort Worth? Definitely a possibility. I think the risk for severe weather is still pretty limited. And I think the time of day that some of those storms could be moving through the Dallas area, it's a little bit more likely we're talking about winds. But I'm not going to rule it out as a possibility for sure. We watched the show that forecast that we talked about hail both Friday and Saturday. And Saturday that risk does include Dallas. Ozzy is watching from Toronto as always. Toronto, you're not really going to have to worry about any severe weather this weekend for Valentine's Day, but it might be cold up there for you guys, so definitely something to consider. And also one more thing really quickly before we log off today, we are giving away Oklahoma City Thunder tickets. If you can scan this QR code, John, if you can bring that up really quickly. If you can scan this really quick, you have trivia options. So we play trivia at every single one of our Raising Hail Tour events, and when we are at the Raising Hail Tour, we do trivia as a way to give away prizes. Cool, someone just scanned that when that lit up. If you scan this and you win trivia, you can win tickets to the Oklahoma City Thunder game tonight. Tonight's happening. You want to be there. Scan this right now, and again, you can play some trivia. It's going to ask you just a few questions, and if you answer them correct, first you have to get them correct, but also it depends on how fast you answer them. If you answer them very quickly, that gives you more points, and then again, whoever wins has a chance to win Oklahoma City Thunder tickets for tonight. So I'm going to leave this up a little bit longer. Again, have a chance to win Oklahoma City Thunder tickets. Scan it now. It's such a great time. But it's also a friendly reminder, too, that we do this on the Raising Hail Tour also. We have over $500 worth of prizes that we give away, and we do that throughout the day, doing fun trivia for different of our sponsors, Daily in Black and Letter Labs. We have sponsors that bring their own gifts that we're able to give out too, and it's all through fun, different weather trivia and just roofing trivia. So a few more seconds, there we go, someone else just scanned that, perfect. Scan it a few more times, get your chance to enter, and again, if you come on the Raising Hail Tour, you'll also have a chance to win some really cool prizes as well. We absolutely love trivia here at HailTrace. All right, thank you, John. I think we've gotten quite a few people scanning that, so hopefully that is a success. And as always, as we wrap up today, we want to remind you guys to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, just at HailTrace. We are constantly posting more updates on things that are happening, not only in the Raising Hail Tour, but also we're talking about other things too, like the storm chances and your Valentine's Day plans. What are that's going to look like? We're going to talk about those severe weather chances for this weekend. So make sure that you're following us in all of those locations. And if you need a wind, hail, or tornado map, give us a call at 855-334-4245, or you can email us at info@hailtrace.com, or you can visit us at our website at hailtrace.com as well. Thank you guys again so much for joining us today. I know it was a fun, full forecast full of weather, Raising Hail Tour, and giving away those Thunder tickets. We will be back here, though, tomorrow. Everyone will be back from Omaha, so we'll have a recap of what the tour was like in Omaha for Stop 3. We'll be back here, same time, same place.